Oh,
here we are, man.
Hello, prettiest day in New York.
Perfect conditions.
Ah.
Warm up first, take your time. Don't want to blow a shoulder out. Oh, good serve.
Ah.
Yeah, 1-0, Kyrgios.
1-0.
Come on, McConaughey.
Okay, mate.
This is your moment.
Hey.
Come on, Kicks.
I was there.
Welcome to Hanakuma's Good Trouble, where we celebrate those who have the courage to disrupt the norm. I'm Nick Kyrgios, professional tennis player and your host. In each episode, we'll sit down with game changers who aren't afraid to rock the boat. We'll dig into their stories and the waves they've made in their worlds for the better. Welcome to my show, Good Trouble, with Nick Kyrgios. The guest joining me today has gone from Hollywood heartthrob to global icon by living on his own terms. He's a husband, father, Academy Award winner, a New York Times #1 best-selling author, a philanthropist, and professor at UT, where they invented the title Minister of Culture in his honor. Beyond titles, he has his own era, see pronoun reconnaissance. He's the motivational speaker, Lincoln spokesperson, and even co-created his own tequila with his wife. Better than all right, the definition of zen and cool, Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yeah. Let's go on the road with that
You like
intro.
it?
Nice.
You like it?
Appreciate it.
So Matthew, thanks
Yes,
for being here. What does good trouble mean to you?
Good trouble? It's that good mischief. It's not following the status quo, but still doing something, and everyone looks around and goes, is that legal? And they go, well,
Borderline.
actually, I think it might be, but no one's done it like that before. It's good trouble. Getting up to good trouble. A little mischief is something I'm trying to talk to my kids about now. By going, I want you to get up to some good trouble. Get away with a few
Ask some
things,
questions.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
So we're at the US Open, you know, the biggest stage, New York, center of the culture. What do you love about the US Open and tennis in general?
I mean, fly your freak flag.
Yeah.
You know, Wimbledon has its formality. This the rules. We're going to do it this way.
Yep.
It's a little bit more of good trouble in New York
It
at
is.
the U.S. Open.
Yep.
It's like, well, we want a little mischief. We
Yep.
want to promote a little bit of something to not go quite by the book, and the crowd can get as loud, and the colors come out.
It is definitely the most electric and buzzy sort of Grand Slam of the four. I don't know, have you been to Wimbledon before?
No, haven't been to
it's
Wimbledon, haven't been to French or Aussie.
so quiet.
Yeah.
Like in between points, it's like you can hear a pin drop, and then US Open is like constant white noise. It's always celebrities, and I think for me, it's probably the most fun tournament to play,
Okay.
hands down. I know you're a fan of the game the last 2 years, but what do you think about the state of the game now and what it takes to really have success now?
Ooh, good question. I mean, look, we're just coming off of the Federer, Nadal, Djokovic reign. There's always someone who comes up and they go, oh, this is the next big thing. And then you look around 2 years ago, where did he or she go?
Yep.
Alcaraz is not a where did he go?
He's going to be one of the greats, yeah.
Sinner doesn't look to be like a where did he go?
Yep.
So there's some youngers establishing themselves going, no, we're here.
Yep.
This is how it's going to roll. And you've got Djokovic going, I'm still the lion, bro.
Yeah.
You're roaring over there. You're not taking my reign yet.
Yep.
The age difference is obvious, but he's still the
That's
GOAT,
unbelievable.
no question.
So who surprised you the most?
You know, most surprising thing, I think the MVP of the tennis world this year was the president of the Italian Tennis Federation.
Okay.
Right? Where'd they all come from?
I have no idea.
You know, there's Italian flags everywhere, and they've been around. So where is it now? Look, it seems Sinner and Alcaraz right there.
Yep.
Djokovic didn't go anywhere. He reminded us of all that at the Olympics.
Yeah.
He was in a different zone.
He was, but that was the only thing that was left on his resume was a gold. I think now it's going to be a bit harder for him to find that fire.
I'd love to see him
Win another one?
I'd love to say he's already the GOAT, but I'd love
Yeah.
to just keep going into, look, it's unanimous. Let me just go past the ceiling of showing you I'm the GOAT and make a new record for someone to chase forever.
So what was it like for you growing up in Texas before everything started? The bright lights,
Yeah.
cameras, actions. What was that like for you?
I was born in a little small town in Uvalde. Like, we left in 1979 because it was kind of getting too big. It was 12,000 people. And a Wendy's burger had moved into town. It's getting big. And my dad was in the oil business, and there was an oil boom in Texas. So we moved to Longview, Texas, up in East Texas. I got 2 older brothers.
So you're the youngest?
I'm the youngest.
Me
I was
too.
the accident.
I'm the youngest as well.
We were middle class. We got by. I think it was tough. Dad was trying to keep from going even bankrupt at times. But he went from truck driver to running a gas station to being a pipe salesman. And we started to roll a little bit. As he said, he started to hit licks in the 80s. And we started to roll. Mama had her white Cadillac and her mink coat. You know what I mean? And there was one, and that was the only one she was going to get, but that's what we had. Mom was a school teacher. She was my school teacher for a couple years. Not the kind of school teacher that, if your mom's a teacher, it's harder. My mom was the school teacher who would actually like come home and go, check out, here's the answers to the test. Yeah. She'd be like, this is a stupid curriculum, don't even read it. Here they are. My mom and dad were rebellious in that way.
It's a good trouble. Perfect.
They were real good trouble, man. They were outlaws. You know, I always like to say this about the outlaws. I don't think the outlaws are really on the fringes. I think the outlaws are in the center, getting away with it right down the slipstream.
Wow.
I think that, and that was my mom and dad. So we were a resilient family.
So early stages of your career, like which project has had the greatest influence on you, do you think?
Wooderson, Days Confused. I mean, that's the first one. And that was 3 lines were written in that script. And I was in the right bar at the right time, met the right guy. I was taking him back to his apartment. He's like, you ever done any acting? I was like, no, not really. He was like, you might be right for this part. Come to this address tomorrow morning. And I did, and there was this script with 3 lines. And I worked on those 3 lines, and I got the part. And then I went to the set one night, and it wasn't supposed to work. And the director said, hey, come on in the scene. Try this. And we started improvising.
So did you have a love for it, or it just kind of fell into it?
I was in film school, University of Texas, behind the camera.
Yep.
I didn't have the confidence to even dream of being an actor at that time. So to admit that I think I did have a love for it, and now I can look back and go, I can look at my journals and stuff and go, you wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
But I couldn't even admit it back then. Mind you, I came from an upbringing, you get a job, you work your way up the ladder. And when I called my dad to ask him to go to film school, I thought he was going to say, what the hell are you talking about? Boy, you can do that shit on the weekend as a hobby.
Yeah.
He gave me the best response I could have asked. He goes,
He was supportive.
well, don't half-ass it. And gave me a launch pad, you know? All of a sudden I got a kind of a main character in a movie.
And then you're off.
I got a little bit of a resume to go, hey, check this guy out. I can maybe get an agent, maybe get another audition. It worked out from there.
That's crazy for me because I played basketball growing up, and that was my first passion, was playing basketball. Loved it. Used to shoot hoops at the back of my house. My parents pushed me into tennis because being from Australia, making it in tennis, because tennis is one of our biggest sports down there, but basketball's not. So they're just stop playing basketball now. We're just going to push you into tennis, and I hated it.
You hated it then?
Couldn't stand it, and I was
When
just
did you
good
start
at
to love it?
I don't know if I love it.
You still want the big round ball?
Yeah, I just want to play basketball, but yeah, it's crazy. They kind of just took the basketball straight out of my hand and said, look, we're going to pursue this tennis career, and here it is.
So you don't know if you love tennis?
I mean, I'm competitive.
Yeah.
I love the competition, but I get that. I could probably get that.
But without competition, you and a little green ball and a racket, you don't know if you love that.
I don't know if I love tennis.
Okay. Because sometimes we get a lot of people do things we don't necessarily go our favorite thing to do, but we get good at it. We go, I'm kind of learning to love this.
I mean, being from Australia, I have to be traveling 8 months a year, new place every week, out of a hotel, don't see my family and friends. From Australia, it's a bit harder. It's a tough sport.
If you could play it in Australia, in your backyard with your family with you the whole time.
It would be easier. I still think I'd want to play basketball though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, for you, you kind of just fell into it and then you learned that you loved it. It's interesting.
Fell into it, thought I was getting away with it, looking over my shoulder saying, is this legal? And they were like, yeah, and keep coming back. And I was getting paid more than I was getting tips at the bar I was working at. And I was like, I'd love to. And had a great time. Learned, but I didn't learn how to do what I was doing for another 10 years after I started. I never took an acting class in my life. I just had the instincts for it. It's only 10 years later, in around 2000, that I started kind of working with somebody and going, oh, this is what I'm actually doing. Oh, these are my rights as an actor. Oh, this is the way to question. This is the way to improve. But that was 10 years after I started.
You just picked it all up along the way. Is it true that you spent 52 days off the grid in the desert riding Greenlights?
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
All right.
Because that's pretty
It's not really a
Nah.
normal thing, you know.
Well,
Well,
so it was wild, it was manic, it was maddening, it was monastic. It started off very rocky. You go away on your own, where you're forced to be with yourself, and you got no media. I had no internet. I had no cell service, nothing. That it's not always the most fun company when it's with you and you. I got, the demons were coming out, guilt, shame. I'm pissed off, and it was me, and I drew more than a sweat with myself. I drew blood. It was like, we're gonna have it out. And so usually when I go away like that, the first 12 days are hell. It's a wrestling match with myself to figure out, what the hell do I forgive McConaughey? What are we gonna shake hands on and forgive? And what are we gonna go, the buck stops here? I'm tired of that shit. So I had it out with myself, and the first 12 days were hell. But I took all my journals with me from 50 years. I knew that when I would get bored or start going mad, the only thing I had to entertain myself with was me, what I've written over the last 50 years. So I would be forced to go to that. And after about 12 days, I started those things that I was wrestling with myself about and fighting, I started to kind of giggle at. Sense of humor started coming out. Started to forgive about some things that I was ashamed of. And then started to look back in my journals and started to say, oh, this isn't the way you're feeling now. These things you're doing that you're feeling, you've been doing and thinking that stuff for 50 years, man. So that made it even more funny in a way and easier to go, all right, it's essentially the same kid you were when you were 12. You're asking the same questions. You maybe have more answers, McConaughey, but you're still interested in the same things. You're making some of the same mistakes too. That's when the book started to really unravel, and I be able to be honest with myself and share something that I thought and hoped would kind of hit a nerve with humanity, and fortunately it kind of did, because my story that was very personal to me seems to have a lot of people going, hey, I saw myself in that story. I know what you're talking about. Oh, you too?
yeah.
And I think that's part of the success of the book, is that it was a personal story, but it was a human story, and hopefully it was entertaining, and I got to share some of those things and be honest and go, yeah, me too, bro. Check this out. Yeah, I stepped in shit not only twice, 3 times, and I did it again, and the 4th time I face planted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you still journal now?
I do, daily.
Every day.
Yeah. I don't think there's anybody that any of us should know better or try to get to know better than ourselves. And to write my thoughts, it may be a rhyme, it may be a riddle, it may be something that made me smile, something that smelled good, something that made me pissed off, whatever. I'll jot it down just to keep a track of it. And at the end of the month, go back and say, where was your mind this month, McConaughey? And I'll go back and have a look. I find it interesting. I want to stay on this journey of trying to get to know myself as well as possible and find the consistencies. And the more I find I know about myself, the more I find I can learn about others in life, and I'm open to it. And that's why I take notes.
For me, I've been around the world, but I love my home roots. Like, no matter where I am, I always miss, like, I could be in New York for like a week, and I'm like, man, I just miss being back home, like that home pride.
Yeah.
With you, I think you don't lose that. What does Texas really mean to you? Like, when you do
Great
all these
question.
things around the world,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, home for me is where a mile feels like a mile. An hour feels like 60 minutes. I'm working and I'm really busy. I get ahead of time. I go on a vacation to the Bahamas or something. I get behind time. Home, I feel like I'm on time. With relationships, with work, the pace, my flow through life feels like it is on time. I live in Austin, which is a liberal city in a very conservative state. I like that push and pull. I like the structure of the red around the freedom of the blue. So in the blueberry and the tomato soup of Texas, I like that. A lot of Texans are very connected to home, but we have a spirit of, well, get out there, go off, use your passport, boy. Go travel and come back and tell some stories. Then come on back, tell us how it went.
It's pretty cool. So you've turned down a bunch of roles, and
Yeah.
I love the fact that, like, for me, I get told pretty much every week, like, don't do this, like, stay in this lane, try not to tread on anyone's toes. And I'm not the tennis player, like, mold of what a tennis player should be.
Yeah.
Clean cut, like, it's just not, I've never really fit in to being in that sort of tennis family.
Yeah.
So with you, what does it mean to you to always stay true to yourself?
Look, man, the devil's in the infinite yeses, not the no's. No is just as important, if not more important, especially if you have some level of success and access. No becomes more important than yes. Because, I mean, we can all look around and see we've over-leveraged our life with yeses and going, geez, oh man, I'm making C minuses and all this shit in my life because I said yes to too many things. I've had many times in my life where I'm going, man, I'm going through autopilot right now. And I may think I'm handling everything all right, but I don't feel any of it. Nothing's personal to me. So I've had times in my life where I said, nope, full stop, no. When I was rolling with the rom-coms.
Yes.
And I was the rom-com dude, man.
Yep.
That was my lane, and I liked that lane. That lane paid well, and it was working.
Yep.
But the lane was, I was so strong in that lane that anything outside of that lane, dramas and stuff that I wanted to do, we're like, no, McConaughey. Hollywood said, no, you should stay there.
Stay there, but you didn't want to.
I didn't want to. So since I couldn't do what I wanted to do, I stopped doing what I was doing, and I moved down to the ranch in Texas, and I went down there and made a pact with my wife and said, I'm not going back to work unless I get offered roles I want to do. And I talked to my agent. Well, then
you had an epic return, though.
But that 2 years, talking about those notes, that 2 years was wobbly, bro. That bottle of my favorite juice started looking good earlier in the day. Luckily, Camilla got pregnant with our first child, so there was purpose coming to look forward to, but I was still like, man's got to work. I got to craft. What do I do? And I didn't, making chimes and working in the garden wasn't cutting it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So after about 2 years, there was one that came on. You'll love this story. There was one that came on. It was a good action comedy. It came in with an $8 million offer. And I said, no, thank you. They came back with a $10 million offer. I said, no, thank you. They came back with a $12 million offer. I said, no, thank you. They came back with a $14.5 million offer. I said, let me read that again. Same script as the one that was offered for $8 million, but it was better. Okay. I mean, $6.5 million more. It was a better script.
It was better script,
I mean, it was funnier. I could see myself in this. This might work for you, McConaughey. Yeah. This might be one to come back and do. But I said no. And I think that was the one, that was probably what was seen as the most rebellious move in Hollywood by me, because it really sent the signal, he ain't fucking bluffing.
Yep.
And when you got someone who's not bluffing, there's something attractive about that. I think that's what made Hollywood go, you know what? He's now a new novel idea. He's a new bright idea, a new idea for the Killer Joe, the Dallas Buyers Club, the True Detectives, the Muds. And boy, when those offers came, I was salivating, man. And I just bid on and went back to back to back and worked as much as I could and loved it and felt every bit of it.
So just keep living. Some advice from your father, who also happens to be the logo of your Just Keep Living Foundation, that's really, really cool. And what is he saying and the foundation meant to you?
So Just Keep Living came to me after my father moved on. It came to me on a spiritual level when I didn't think my dad could die. I thought he was the abominable snowman. I was like, when I found out, my mom called me and said, you like this, talking about good trouble. Guess how he died?
Oh, I don't know. Let me know.
Well, woke up on a Monday morning, 6 a.m., feeling a little frisky. Woke up his wife, my mother, made love. As soon as he finished, heart attack.
You're joking.
On top of her. And he told me, my brother, Rooster, and Pat, that's how he was going to go. He used to tell us, boys, when I go, I'm going to be making love to your mother. And the son of a bitch did it. Died of a heart attack. And Mom called me that afternoon going, your dad died. Made love this morning. So anyway, beautiful way to go. And I was going through, as everyone is, how do you keep someone alive? And it came to me that you can keep someone alive spiritually. Because I was still wanting to talk to him. I was still picking up a phone. And I was like, you can do that, McConaughey. Pick up the phone anytime you want and call him. His spirit's still alive. That's what Just Keep Living meant. Keep him alive. So that emblem that's on the foundation is him. That's the last picture taken of him 2.5 weeks before he died. He was walking off the beach. We took a picture, and there was a little, quarter-acre spot on a beach. And he said, boys, when I hit a lick, and that was his version for when I do a good pipe deal, he goes, I'm going to have a little oyster and gumbo bar right here. It's going to be a wood shack. We're going to have oysters, gumbo, and Miller Lite in the can. That's it. just keep living was something that I've been trying to apply. I have not found anything in life where it doesn't apply.
Yep.
What's the right just keep living choice? The more it's going to bring more life choice. Name the foundation that we help after school.
Yep.
Young men and women in Title I schools they're on the wrong track, try to get them on the right track. They're on the right track, keep them there. Pop, and just keep living are kind of stamped everywhere.
Yeah, you can hold on to that.
From foundations to
Cool.
T-shirts to a damn dog bowl. I can't find a place that doesn't fit.
So when it's all said and done, what sort of legacy do you hope to leave behind as an artist? You?
Yay.
Or just as a person? Like, what's more important?
Look, I've been trying to tightrope that and streamline that thing, who I am, life, and work. I've been trying to get those two to overlap as much as possible. That's why I've been told I could have been a lot more private or not as accessible as a movie star than I am. And I've chosen, no, it's too much effort. I don't want to. I don't want to try that hard to be enigmatic. Where's McConaughey? What is he? I just didn't want to. I was like, no. Everything that I could do before I was famous, I know I still have a right to do, and if I want to do it, I'm gonna do it in my life now. And so, what kind of memory, legacy? I mean, I don't half-ass much. I don't always hit the mark, but if I miss, I like to miss all the
Go
way.
out swinging.
I like to be past the hole, not short. Look, I'll say this though: movies, they're immortal. They would outlive me. Art, they will be there. The best thing I think a man, the best thing I think even a parent can leave behind, they're epics. The epic films are my kids.
Yeah, definitely.
If I can have three kiddos that can live a life that they value, whatever their meaning of value in their life is, and they can find some joy in their heart, spirit, and mind with what they do, then that would be my most honored thing to have been able to do in this life.
Definitely. So you've played coach before.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna paint a scene for you because I don't have a coach. Like I've never had a coach. Like pretty much never had a coach in my life.
Never had a coach.
Like when I was a bit younger, but
Yeah.
the last 6 years of my career I haven't.
Okay.
So you're my coach.
Yeah.
This is the pep talk you're giving me in the locker room before my return to tennis in the
Okay.
Australian Open. So
Okay.
give me like 20 seconds of what you would be
Well,
telling
look,
me.
man, you never had a coach. I'm not going to come over here and try to tell you to do something that you don't want to do. I want to sit here and learn more about it. Let's talk about this. You still got room to love this game.
That's true.
You like it. You got talent at it. That's connecting dots. But how about we just be open to going to that place to going,
Maybe I love it.
what if you be open to loving this game and loving your ability that not many people have to play this game? Dare you?
I feel pretty motivated to
Just
run you
don't think we
around
need a
now.
rah-rah. When we do something where we feel it, mind, body, spirit, and we're like, and there's a joy to it. I didn't pull that off. Oh, but I know how to fix that. Not many people have that ability. Even if you don't go on and play for 10 years, start an Australian Open. Think of it as more than an affair. What if you just got married for the Australian Open to tennis?
All right, let's go hit some tennis balls. Let's go do it. All right, let's get ready. Is this the first time you've been down here though? Like these
I was here
corridors?
last year, but
Oh, but you walked it.
No. I don't think I've walked this course.
It's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, we'll get your stuff and you get change and you get turned into a player now.
Sweet ass, man. To use an Aussie phrase.
How you feeling?
I'm nervous, bro.
Are you really?
I'm excited. Yeah. Yes, bro.
You'll be fine. This is where we walk down.
Yeah, man.
And this is like the famous pressure is a
Yes.
privilege.
They love ending on this.
Yep.
Really. Oh,
Here we are, man.
Hello. Prettiest day in New York.
Perfect conditions.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty big, right?
Yeah, man.
Oh, he's giving up
Ah,
Feels good to be out here.
beautiful. Ah.
The big fella's grabbing confidence now. So now that you're a real player, what got you into tennis? The exercise.
Playing with my buddies, Woody and them.
Foursomes, having a great time. 3 hours, broke a sweat, said this is a hell of a lot more fun than jogging a mile.
Yeah.
Ha.
Nice. Yes. No, that's a good ball. That's your best forehand of the day. I'm not going to hold back anymore. Good ball.
Hey.
Sorry. Nice, yeah. What's your guilty pleasure?
I got a few.
Tell me. Unless it's too personal.
I like my tequila.
Tequila, yeah, me too. I need a bottle of yours, though.
I'll get you one.
All right, here we go. Good ball, that's big. Good, that's a good shot. Want swap sides? Swap sides. Get your hit on both sides, see which one you like better. Good job. Come on, McConaughey.
Okay, mate.
This is your moment.
Hey.
Come on, kids.
I was there. Come on, McConaughey.
Oh!
Oh, no!
Oh, you had it. You had
Got
it.
excited.
He's actually a lot better than I thought he was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
No way he hits that. I'm so nervous.
No! And he closes it out.
It's the biggest win of my career.
Yes.
Good playing, man. You're good. Good job.
Thanks, man. I love the game.
No,
Thank you.
awesome.
That's fun, man.
That was awesome.
Thank you for that.
Anytime. That was a bit of good trouble on and off the court.
Yeah.
Send us off with something. What's the last thing you want people to remember after that hit?
After that hit,
Yeah. You can be actually pretty solid.
McConaughey's got some potential.
You heard it here first. McConaughey's got some
He's
potential.
got some potential.